son of Libya's former leader, Col Muammar Gaddafi, has reportedly been shot dead. The death of 53-year-old Saif al-Islam Gaddafi was confirmed by the head of his political team. To discuss this issue further, we are joined on the line by Na'eem Jeenah, a senior researcher at the Mapungubwe Institute for Strategic Reflection. Na'eem, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Africa Update.
Good afternoon, Lulu. Thank you.
Now, over the years, there have been many calls that Saif al-Islam was killed, many claims rather, and should we take this as the truth this time around?
I think this time around it's clear that he was. There's been multiple kinds of confirmations. And yes, finally that.
And what role, if any, did he play in Libyan politics presently?
So, since the uprising before the uprising in 2011, he was kind of in Muammar Gaddafi's inner circles, but he was also kind of an inside critic in some ways. He gave interviews where he was very liked by the West, and where he said things like, that he wants to bring democracy to Libya, those kinds of things. But since the uprising, he became much closer to his father's policies, supported his father's policies, supported his father. But after he was captured for a while, and after he was released, he tried to make a kind of political comeback. But really, the kind of politics in Libya has changed so considerably that he didn't make much of an impact. He even tried to contest elections, but that didn't go anywhere. So, he hasn't been as influential in Libyan politics as some make him out to be.
And how do Libyans view Saif al-Islam compared to his father?
Well, this is a good question. I mean, as I say, in the initial stages, before the uprising began in 2011, he was seen as a kind of reformist figure. Although he very modestly used to say that he doesn't want to be his father's successor, etc. But around the world, especially in the Western world, he promoted himself with Western governments, etc., as reformists that could bring democracy and liberalism, etc., to Libya. So for that period at least, he was seen in that kind of way by Libyans. But after the uprising in 2011, I mean, he was seen by many people as basically being in his father's camp. And so the few Gaddafiotes that were left, in a sense, supported him, but not supported him as a kind of the future leader or anything like that. Supported him because of his father. And those who were against Gaddafi opposed him.
And, what's happened now with the rest of the family? Would you know where they are and, his family, whether he had a wife and children? What's happening on that front?
Variously in different places. I mean, his younger brother is dead. His older brother, one of his older brothers, is in prison somewhere in Lebanon. And another one has also been killed. Sisters that are alive in different parts of the world. They spread out in different parts of the world. I think he's the only one that was actually left in Libya, or that stayed in Libya.
And Na'eem, just very quickly, with everything that's happening in Libya, what are we likely to see happening going forward?
Well, looking at clearly, you say very euphemistically with everything happening, but it's a big mess. I mean, we have at least two governments infighting within those governments, Eastern government and Western government, at least infighting in the Western one based in Tripoli, the Eastern one controlled by very heavy-handed warlords who were the CIA asset at one point, and more recently became one of the sponsors of Saif al-Islam Gaddafi. That kind of split doesn't seem like it's going to be resolved anytime soon. Whenever there is a suggestion of some kind of resolution and coming together, There seems to be forces that upset that balance, not least of all internal forces like Khalifa Haftar, the warlord, or supported by external forces, the United Arab Emirates, the Russians, the Turks, the Italians, etc. All have some kind of a stake and want their preferred government to be in charge. So it's a difficult one, and I don't see a resolution in the near future. I think some of the older politicians need to die, and Libyans need to be able to, take control of their country much more strongly.
Well, Na'eem, thank you so much for joining us on Africa Update. We are going to leave it there for today. That's Na'eem Jeenah, Senior Researcher at the Mapungubwe Institute for Strategic Reflection, joining us on the line.